I'm Sue.
And I'm Brian. Hello. We've just come in from tidying up the garden and soon we're going to have a nice cup of tea.
Just waiting for the kettle to boil.
We've been tidying up the garden because there were lots of things left lying around. Not only did they make the garden look untidy, but it's also quite dangerous to have things lying around all over the ground.
I nearly tripped over this. Do you know what it is? It's a skipping rope.
You wouldn't think a skipping rope could be dangerous, would you? But it can be. If it's left on the ground, you can catch your feet in it and trip over like Sue nearly did.
I wonder who this belongs to.
I think I know. Here he is.
Oh.
Bertie Badger. It's yours, isn't it, Bertie? And Bertie's been helping us tidy up the garden.
Shall I put this away in your toy box for you, Bertie? Okay.
Yes, this is Bertie's toy box. Have you got lots of toys? Well, he has. And when he's not using his toys, he keeps them in the toy box for safety.
Because it's not only in the garden that you can trip over things that are just lying around. You can also trip over things in the house.
Like this, for instance, which is too big to go in the toy box. This is Bertie's skateboard. Look at that. Now, if I trod in that indoors, I could go whizzing off to a nasty accident. Now, that doesn't go into the toy box. This has to go into the toy cupboard. I'll put that in later.
Let's have a look in Bertie's toy box and see if we can find anything else that might be dangerous if it was left just lying around. What have you got in here, Bertie? Let's have a look. It's your favourite. Your football. But if this was left lying, let's say, at the top of the stairs, one of us could easily just trip over it and fall all the way down to the bottom.
And people don't bounce as good as footballs. What else have we got in here? Oh, we've got lots of stuff under it. There's a cap and a little car. Ow! Oh, what's this? Bertie, that's my screwdriver. That shouldn't be in your toy box. That should be in my toolbox. Screwdrivers are dangerous. They've got a very sharp end. Right, I'll put that in my toolbox. And I'll put your toy box away as well.
Kettle's boiled. Would you like a cup of tea, Bertie? No, you like milk, don't you? Bertie, be careful. Are you all right? That was a very silly thing to do, wasn't it? Look, you watch this. Stand back, that's it. Now you see all the steam coming off of that water? Well, that means that the water is very hot. Now, put that back over there. It's not only dangerous to play with hot things, it's silly as well. You could easily burn or scald yourself. You didn't burn your paw, did you, Bertie? Let me have a look. Oh, you're right. You're very lucky. Never mind. Let's have a look round the kitchen and see if we can find anything else that would be dangerous or hot to play with. Can you think of anything, Bertie? Ah, yes. It's the cooker. Now, you should never play or go near cookers, especially if they're being used to cook dinners, because they get very hot. Here's something else. A saucepan. Now, saucepans contain hot things, and you should never try and reach up to grab the handle, because you could pull it down on top of yourself, and you wouldn't like that. I'll turn the handle in this way, so if Brian and I come past, we won't go knocking into it. Now, I can think of something else. If you play with them, they can be very dangerous. I keep them in the drawer here, out of the way. The matches. Now, Brian sometimes uses these to light the bonfire or the candles on Bertie's birthday cake, but you should never play with matches or go near fire. I know a rhyme about a little girl who played too close to the fire. Little Polly Flinders sat among the cinders, warming her pretty little toes. Her mother came and called her and smacked her little daughter for spoiling her nice new clothes. So you should never play with matches. I'll put these away safely. There. Now, I wonder what's happened to Brian.
Yes? Fine. Okay. Good. Yes. 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 Okay. Goodbye. Yes. Goodbye. Yeah. Bye. That was Bertie's friend, Fuzzy Fox. He's coming to stay for the day. Yeah. He's arriving at the station at 2 o'clock. Oh, good gracious. It's nearly that now. I better go and tell Sue, then she and Bertie can go and meet him while I tidy the house up.
Off to pick up Fuzzy Fox. Put my seatbelt on. And my sunglasses. Bertie's got his seatbelt on. And his sunglasses as well. Roads can be very dangerous places if you're not careful. You should never play in or near roads. You should also know how to cross a road sensibly and safely. One way of doing this is to learn your green cross code. Here's Daniel and Ryan, and they're going to show us how to cross a road using the green cross code. You should never cross between parked cars. It's difficult for drivers to see you if you're standing between cars, and also it's not very easy when you're small to see over the bonnet. So find a clear place to cross. Stop at the curb, but not too close. Look all around and listen. If you see some traffic coming, wait. Never try to cross in front of moving cars, motorbikes, lorries, buses, or even bicycles. Just wait until you're sure that the road is clear. When you're sure the road is clear, walk straight across. Remember to keep looking and listening for traffic. Never run or play about while you're crossing. Well done, Daniel and Ryan. They certainly know how to cross a road sensibly. There are many places you can cross a road safely, like at a pelican crossing. Now that red light tells me that I must stop. And that red man tells the children they must stay where they are. Can you see that, Bertie? The red man has now changed to a green man. That means it's safe to cross. Now, Bertie, when the green man starts flashing, you must not try to cross the road. Here's some other places where you can cross a road safely.
Hello again. Nearly finished. Just making sure that everything is neat and tidy and that there's nothing left around that could cause an accident. Would you like to see some of the things that I put away? Let's have a look in this cupboard. This is where I keep all the cleaning things. There's a bucket, a floor cloth, a scrubbing brush, and now this bottle. See this bottle? Well, it looks a bit like a lemonade bottle, doesn't it? But it isn't. If I turn it around, you can see the label says bleach. Bleach. Now that's very good for cleaning, but if you were to drink any of it, it would make you very ill. So never touch bleach. Right. So we'll have a look in another cupboard. Now this is my medicine cupboard. And it's got a special lock on it. Shall we have a look inside? Got all sorts of things in here. I want to show you these. This little bottle has got some tablets in it. All different colours. Now they look like sweets, don't they? But they are pills or tablets. You may have been given pills or tablets by a grown-up when you've been feeling poorly. Now they're very good for you. They help if you're feeling ill, they're very important. But if you were to take them because you just thought that they were sweets, they could make you very ill indeed. So never ever touch pills or tablets. unless a grown-up gives them to you. All right. Put those back in. Screw the top on tightly. And lock it away again. Now, what else shall I show you? Ah, sounds as though Sue is back with Bertie and his friend.
No! That was Fuzzy Fox. He's a bit excited, but I don't think he should be rushing about like that. Do you, Bertie?
I wonder what Bertie's friend would like for tea. Tomatoes, perhaps. Ah, knife. Should do. Yeah. Oh. Hello, Sue.
Hello.
Hello, Bertie. I see your friend's arrived. He seems very excited. Oh, he's back again. Hello, Fuzzy. You certainly are a bundle of energy, aren't you?
Oh.
You'd better slow down a bit before you hurt yourself.
Keep still, Fuzzy. This wouldn't have happened if he hadn't been rushing about.
Exactly. You don't rush about indoors, do you, Bertie? No. Did you know that most accidents occur in the home? Well, there are so many things to bump into, aren't there? And trip over.
Parks are the places for rushing about in, not in the house. And I think you can take things a bit slower from now on.
I tell you what, Sue, why don't you go and read them a story while I prepare a bit of lunch?
Okay, would you like that? Come on then. Come on. Oh, slowly. Are you two ready for a story? All right, Fuzzy. Calm down. Here we go. Sally was bored. She was bored with playing with her toys. She was bored with watching television. But most of all, she was bored because it was raining. And when it was raining, it meant that Sally couldn't go out to play. You can't go out in the rain, said her mum. You'll get wet and most likely catch a nasty cold. Look, why don't you go up into your bedroom and play? It's nice and warm up there. Sally's mum was right about it being nice and warm in her bedroom. But a room that was nice and warm was no good if you were fed up and bored. Pitter-pat, pitter-pat, went the rain as it splashed against the window. Drip, 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 it went as it splashed onto the window ledge. I wish I could go out, Sally thought to herself. What harm can rain do to me? It's only water, and I cover myself in water every day when I shower. I don't catch a nasty cold then. Suddenly, Sally had an idea. She crept out of her room and she crept down the stairs. She stopped and looked over the banister. The door to the living room was closed, but Sally could hear Mum talking to someone on the telephone. So Sally crept all the way down the stairs and tried to open the front door, but the handle was too high for her to reach. So she crept into the kitchen and tried to reach the handle on the back door. Once again it was too high. Then all of a sudden the cat flap opened and in climbed Tigger, Sally's cat. This gave Sally another idea. Sally lifted the cat flap and she squeezed and squeezed through the hole. It was a very tight fit, but Sally pushed and pulled, and soon she popped out onto the other side, into the garden and into the rain. Sally ran round the garden, laughing and chuckling as the rain fell on her, making all her clothes wet. You see, Sally hadn't even bothered to put a coat and Wellingtons on. Sally saw a big puddle on the path. A good puddle for jumping in, she said, as she splashed into the water. Soon Sally's slippers were wet. In fact, even her socks inside her slippers were wet. In just a few seconds, Sally was sopping wet. Sally began to feel cold. Time to go in, she thought. Mummy will still be on the phone, so she won't have even noticed that I've gone out, and I'll soon dry off in my nice warm bedroom. But what do you think happened when Sally tried to climb back through the cat flap? She got stuck. Mum couldn't believe her eyes. Tigger was surprised too. He thought the cat flap was just for him. As much as Mum and Tigger tried, they couldn't get Sally out. Even Sally's dad, who had come home from work specially, couldn't get her out. Sally was feeling very cold now, and she was also feeling very stupid. Finally, a fireman came along and cut a bigger hole in the door to free Sally. The door was ruined, which didn't please either Daddy or Tigger. Sally's mum gave her a hot bath and tucked her into bed with a warm drink. That was a silly and naughty thing to do, said Mummy. Tissue! Sneezed Sally. The next day, the sun was shining and the birds were singing, and everywhere was nice and warm. Sally's friends were all outside on the green playing. Sally could hear them laughing and shouting, but Sally couldn't go out today. She'd caught a cold and had to stay in bed. And it's all because you wouldn't listen to me and went out in the rain with no coat or Wellingtons on. You're a silly girl, Sally, said her mummy. Sneezed Sally. Tissue! Oh. Did you enjoy that? Where's Fuzzy gone? Oh, I hope he's not up to anything.
Yum, yum. Do you like sandwiches? I do. This one is lettuce and tomato, and I happen to know that this is Bertie's favourite. Oh, hello, Fuzzy. Fuzzy, don't do that. Do you know how dangerous plastic bags are? Putting your head in a plastic bag is a very, very dangerous thing to do. You must never, ever do that again, right? Now that slice of bread has gone on the floor. You mustn't eat anything that's been on the floor. Fuzzy, what are you doing with that knife? Stop it. Give me that knife. No, not that way. Like that. You could cut someone or even yourself. Don't you know? Knives are not toys, you know. They're extremely dangerous things. You must never play with anything sharp, like a scissors or a knife or a screwdriver. I'm going to put that somewhere safe. Fuzzy. 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 Stop it. I don't know, Fuzzy. What did we tell you about rushing about? Fuzzy's caught his tail in the door. Let me just stick that safely with a bit of... Don't lick it. That should hold on, all right? Now, why don't you two just sit there and watch a video, yes? Right. I tell you what, we could show Fuzzy one of your videos, Bertie. So just watch the video and don't do anything silly, all right? Last of my homegrown potatoes. I like potatoes. All vegetables are very good for you, very healthy. Onions. Onions are nice to flavour a stew and salads. I like raw onion in salads. Carrots, very good for you, lovely and crunchy. You can eat them cooked or raw. They're nice raw, aren't they, Bertie? I always wash my hands before I eat. I hope you do too.
These look nice.
I wonder if Bertie and Fuzzy are enjoying the video.
Hello, Bertie. Why aren't you watching the video with Fuzzy?
I think he wants us to follow him somewhere.
Oh dear, what's Fuzzy done now?
Oh, Fuzzy.
You are a silly fox, Fuzzy. Fancy putting your paw in a video player. Don't you know how silly that is?
I think he does now. You really haven't been very sensible, have you, since you arrived?
Can you remember all the silly things you've done? Can you remember all the silly things that Fuzzy's done since he first came here?
Well, I've got some pictures to remind you. Look. First thing he did was to rush about all over the place. Bertie can hardly believe his eyes. Next.
Putting his head in a plastic bag. Oh, that's a very silly thing to do. And dangerous too.
Very, very dangerous. And so is playing with a knife. Look, he's got his paw on the sharp edge of the knife as well. And
putting his paw into something electrical. That's the name for things that need to be plugged in. Fuzzy, that's very silly.
And there's one more thing too. Now, this is very important, right? So listen carefully and no rushing about. This is called stranger danger. I'm going to tell you a story called Stranger Danger. It's all about what to do if a stranger comes up to you in the street. And what did you do at school today, James? Asked his mum as they walked home. P.C. Brown, the policeman, came to see us and told us all about stranger danger, said James. Oh, stranger danger. That's something that's very important to know about. Can you remember what P.C. Brown told you? Mum asked. James did remember, because he'd been listening very carefully to what P.C. Brown had been saying. He told us all of the stranger danger do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts, said James' mum, rather puzzled. Yes, it was all about what we should do and mustn't do if a stranger comes up to us in the street. James then went on to tell his mum all about stranger danger. Don't talk or take any sweets or money from a stranger. Don't go near a stranger's car, and don't tell a stranger your name and address. And if I am alone at home, I must not open the door for anyone or tell anyone who telephones that I'm at home on my own. Well, that's a lot of don'ts, said James's mum. Can you remember the do's? Oh, yes, said James. Do shout help as loudly as you can if a stranger will not go away. And then run to the nearest place where there will be a lot of people about, like some shops. Oh, I just remembered another don't. What's that? Asked Mum. Don't run to a lonely place like a wood or a park. Well done, James, said his mum. You certainly know about stranger danger. But are all strangers bad? He asked. That's a very good question, said Mum. No, not all strangers are bad, but it's very difficult to tell if a man or a lady is a bad or good stranger. So you must be careful of all strangers, because bad strangers and good strangers can all look the same. It may sound like a lot of things to remember, but it's very, very important. And you've remembered them all. What a clever boy you are. James felt very pleased and grown up when his mum called him a clever boy. The next day was a Saturday, and that meant James didn't have to go to school. Saturday was also the day that James went to see his best friend, William. Now, William only lived a few streets away, and as long as James promised his mum that he would go straight there, James was allowed to go by himself. While he was walking to William's, a red car pulled up beside him and stopped, and the man who was driving the car wound down the window and called to James. "Hello, you don't recognise me, do you?" he said, smiling at James. James was about to say no when he remembered what he had learned about stranger danger. Don't talk to strangers, P.C. Brown had said. James began to walk on. Hey, wait a minute, called the man. I'm a friend of your mum's, and she's asked me to come and find you to take you shopping for some sweets. Look, I've already got some sweets for you. James turned to look at the man and saw him holding the biggest bag of sweets he had ever seen, and they were wine gums, his favourites. He was about to go over to the man when he remembered, don't take sweets or money from strangers. This was a stranger danger trick. James turned away, ignoring the stranger, and carried on walking. The man in the red car started up his engine and soon caught up with James. Why are you running away? I'm not going to hurt you, he said as he stopped the car and got out. I know where there's a sweet shop right next door to a pet shop, and that's got lots of tiny puppies. Why don't you come with me and look at them? Then I'll take you home to your mum. Where do you live? I've forgotten. This was another stranger danger trick, because if the stranger knew James's mum, why did he have to ask James for his address? James was beginning to feel quite frightened now. This stranger would not leave him alone. And then he remembered what P.C. Brown said to do if a stranger wouldn't go away. He took a big breath and then shouted at the top of his voice, Help! This seemed to frighten the man, and he started getting back into his car. James turned and began to run into some nearby trees, but then he remembered that he mustn't run to a lonely place, but to somewhere where there would be lots of people. But the only problem was there were no shops, and there weren't many people about in the streets. So James ran as fast as he could to William's house, shouting, Help! Help! all the time he was running. What's the matter? Asked William's mum when she opened the door. I could hear you shouting from inside the house. It's that stranger over there, said James, pointing to the man in the red car who was just driving away. He said he was a friend of my mum's, and I've never seen him before, and he tried to give me some sweets. But I didn't talk to him, and... Okay, James, said William's mum. You did the right thing. William told me all about P.C. Brown's talk on stranger danger, and you've been a very brave and sensible boy to remember what you should do if a stranger starts to bother you. Come inside. William's in the back garden, waiting for you. James went into the back garden and told William all about the stranger. William also thought James was very brave. I know what we can do today, said William. We could make a stranger danger poster to hang in our bedrooms, so we'll always know what to do if a stranger comes up to us. So that afternoon, James and William made a stranger danger poster. And here's a picture of it. And this is what it says. Don't talk to strangers. Don't go near a stranger's car. Don't take sweets or money or anything else from a stranger. Don't tell a stranger your name or address. Do shout help as loudly as you can. Do run to the nearest place where there are other people. Don't run to a lonely place. Don't open the door to anyone when you are at home by yourself. Don't tell anyone who telephones you that you are alone at home. There, said William when they had finished. That is the best stranger danger poster I have ever seen. When James got home, he told his mum and dad what had happened and showed them the poster, and they both gave him a great big hug. What a clever boy you are, they both said. And James liked being called a clever boy. Well, I hope you've enjoyed and remembered all the things you've seen.
We hope you won't have to wear bandages like Fuzzy.
Well, you won't have to, if you're careful, like Bertie. Isn't that right, Bertie?
What do you think, Fuzzy?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I think Fuzzy's feeling better now. We could take off some of your bandages. All right, let's do the tail one first, shall we? Oh, all right, you can take it off yourself. There you go. That's lovely. That's got rid of that one. Oh, it's stuck on. I'll do that for you. There we are. Oh, that's good. Fine.